I'm excited to start doing these Thursday night trainings with you guys again, just, for us. And then starting in February, the whole team is going to be open up to the whole team because I asked him to post our trainings with the schedule for February. And I wanted to kick off these trainings by talking about the last 6 months of my business and kind of where I've had to shift and what I've learned. And there's a difference between being consistent and just being consistent and sharing what you have your hands on. And the last 6 months, I was posting my before and afters. I was posting, you know, um, my products in my stories every morning, doing my IPAs, but I wasn't intentional. I wasn't sharing what I have my hands on in a sense of, you know, being all in and just being completely no, not distracted. Okay. And, I felt stuck, right? My mental health was in a dark place, but I was still showing up and showing that consistency, going through the motions. And the consistency equals credibility. It equals trust. People will see that you're serious with your in your business. They're going to see you showing up, and it's going to allow them to say, hey, I want to partner with her. Hey, I trust her because she's taking this serious. She's posting every day. She's on her stories, she's doing this, and it creates that trust. But when that's why consistency is so important, right? You want to be able to allow people to see that you're serious about what you do so they can get in your inbox and have the courage to ask those questions. And that's why we say to be consistent, right? And do your IPAs and do the things. Um, but it's like opening your business, right? The open sign, putting that on every single day when you wake up to work your business, being active, right? And it shows you're serious. All eyes are on you. People are watching. But I wasn't sharing what I had my hands on. And I want to explain what that means to me and this shift I've had. Guys, I have 20 free accounts this month and my PPA has doubled. And this small shift, this small thing that I've started doing is because I'm muting and deleting people that I don't need to be watching. I'm intentional with what I'm doing and I'm sharing what I have my hands on. So that means, starting a new journey in my products in my experience. And that means that I am showing the impact of what the products have on me and other people. It's having the value in and the substance in your content. So if you're posting your capsules, that's great and all, but what substance is in that? Like, how is it impacting you in that day? And how's it impacting the Thrive community? People want to see there was a Forbes article about how in network marketing in 2023, people want experience and people are going to be very picky and choosy about who they partner with and what company they're going to partner with. And they want a real experience. They want somebody that they can relate to, somebody they can trust, somebody that stands out from other people. And if you have your own testimony and your own before and after, and you're showing the impact, they're going to be like, okay, I've never seen that before. And they're going to want to know more, right? And I'm showing Zooms, right? Whenever we hop on our Zoom Sunday and Monday, I'm showing the community, and that's showing what I have my hands on. And I'm showing your value is so important. So it was all surface level, but today I'm more like it's simple, but it's impact at the same time. I would post things that were very hard to digest and very hard for people to read that, was maybe too much, maybe too bold and too extreme to a sense. And I've had to knock that down and say, okay, I'm going to bring it back to the basics, right? So I'm going to be talking about weekly pay on Tuesdays, right? And the content map we use. Okay, so how is that weekly pay impacting me? Instead of me making people feel like they are a bad person for not joining my business or they're a bad person because they don't do self-development or they're not growing, I have to show them the impact and the value of what that paycheck's doing for me in that week. So that's relatable. So that they can see, okay, I can that makes sense. It's simple to understand. It's not about, making someone feel like they aren't worthy of something because they're not a part of this business. It's the simple things in our comp plan in our business that you correlate with your life that makes sense. Um, every day. So, and every day won't look the same either, right? We know that we have our crazy lives. And, I was talking with a promoter today and I said, Monday through Wednesday, when Lincoln's in school, I am the most productive ever during those times because I have me time, I have personal time, and I'm home. I'm not working. So I have that time to myself to really work my business. And then the rest of the week, I am doing other things. I'm using the reels that I have batched, but I'm also sharing the value. I don't want to post the reels just to post it. I'm actually taking more time in my captions when I post a reel and adding hashtags. I hadn't done that in forever. And I've grown like 20 followers from doing that. So make sure you're using good captions and good hashtags in your reels that you take time to write out. You take time to put, your heart into, so it's valuable to people. And what are some other things I've switched up? Just my self-development. I'm reading a new book now. Like I don't take like it's serious to me to want to grow, want to get better, right? Because people have their own perception of self-development. But for me, I know I have to grow. I know I have to read books. I know I have to, put action into my business and put action into my day to make me grow. And that's what works for me. And maybe some people are like, I don't want to read a self-development book. I want to listen to a podcast. That's great too. So, on the days that I'm busy and I'm a mom and Lincoln's at home and I may not have a lot of time, I'll listen to a podcast in the shower. And I'm going to use what I've learned and share that value on social media. And guys, when you're batching, another tip that I have quit doing is I stopped doing that I'm doing now is listening to personal development while I'm doing content. We get on our planning Zooms are so important, but maybe on a Thursday or Friday, you're going to batch your content. You have a podcast going in the back to get you encouraged, to get you, motivated and get those wheels turning on, where you want to see yourself in the next 2 to 3 months in this business or what you want to share that day. It doesn't have to relate to the business, but some inspiration. You've got that in the background to kind of get your thoughts going. And I know that had always helped me with my content and listening to something that's encouraging. But it's good to remember that all eyes are on you and being consistent is one thing. But if you're not sharing the impact that this business and products has every day, it's hard to enroll people, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because since I've made this shift, I've seen a big difference in my accounts, in my free accounts, in my sample customers, in results in my business. I'm seeing them now. And it's like, for that 6 months where I was in that dark place, I was showing things, but I wasn't seeing results, right? And you have to bring the basics and the value because it's like a paradox. We say keep it simple, but you've also got to share the value and the substance, which are, Lindsay likes to call them pain points, right? Pain points in your story and not sharing your whole story with, when you share a post or when you share a reels, but you're sharing a piece of it. You know what I mean? And correlating that with the business. If I were to talk about, being how this business brought me home to my son, how grateful I am for that. I'm not going to go into this big story about when I was working and all this stuff. I'm going to share the snippets and the highlight moments in my story and then correlate it with, working from my phone, creating my schedule, being a part of this community and the value in it, if that makes sense at all, you guys. But a lot of these things are rooted in confidence, and a lot of these things are rooted in, our self-belief and belief in ourselves. And we have to work on that through self-development and these trainings. So when you get on a training Sunday, record it and show it to your stores. I know you guys are so good at that in community. So it's up there and you are going to share, the value of the community and how important community is to you. And then come Monday, your week's already planned out. So if you guys do not hop on the planning Zoom, you can always go watch an old recording. That's what I do. And if like this past week, I didn't hop on the planning Zoom, but I planned my day a little like later on in that evening, right? Because I wasn't able to hop on, but I'm still going to make sure I'm planning my week and referencing the content map, making sure you have Monday through Friday scheduled out for your story focus, your IPAs, and your post, and keeping it that simple. And like today, I have product spotlight, and I was strategic with it. I knew my auto ship was going to run. I was going to get my products, my detox in the mail. So I used today as a product spotlight for my detox and the health benefits, the ingredient spotlight. And I showed the ingredients and what benefits they have as just one little graphic to share more than the 3 steps. You know what I mean? So like maybe next Thursday I'll do balance, or I will do thirst, because I'm drinking that during my detox, and showing more than just the 3 steps. But a health journey is so, so important with your audience. Guys, you have to show, update. Hey guys, this is a life update. I just want to tell you all what's going on. I've gotten this done today. I feel productive. My 3 steps are done. And you show the value of it, right? And that's going to get people seeing that you're showing action, right? And they're going to be able to see you doing this over a period of time. That creates so much more than you think. Even if they're not in your inbox, they will be. They will be. But I know I did that video on conversations and the different phases of conversations and breaking chains. And that to me was such a light bulb moment. And I hope you guys took the time to watch that, because we don't want to overwhelm our potentials, and we never want to overwhelm, ourselves in the process, and getting the enrollment out of our head and just saying, let's meet this person where they are and get to know them, and then follow up with a solution, follow up with a transition. There's different phases to it. And this will help your conversations not fizzle out and, just get lost in your messenger, because you're keeping there's substance to the conversation and it's about them. But you guys, your affirmations, make sure you're reading those every day and keeping them in front of you when you wake up. And yeah, absolutely, one step at a time. Like, I know there's been so many instances where I will just respond to a potential and I'm like in the middle of 3 different things. And I'm like, what did I even just say? And it happens. And I'm just like, okay, I'll have to just pause. Let me get to what I'm doing. Let's finish what's going on here in real life. And then I'll get back to this. And, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. I really, really believe that, because you want to be yourself. And if they're like, hey, I have a lot going on right now, I just want to make sure like you have my attention. I'll get back to you in a few minutes, even if you have to say that. Just, being a human, and just getting to know them and asking the right questions. I really, really love Bob Helig. He's starting to do these live videos every morning at 9 o'clock. And he's great to follow on Instagram. But another thing I'm also keeping track of, you guys, is my sample customers. And I'm not using the playbook at the moment, because I am seeing a lot of momentum in samples and in my customer accounts. So I'm writing their name on the day that I spoke to them. And I'm writing their state, their state, their name, and what they got in that part of my day. And then Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to go back and look at these people, make sure I followed up, make sure they have the happy sampling graphic, because I've sent that to them. And you just keep up with them. But let's see. The onboarding is like a quarter of the way through on the breaking chains, you guys. I don't know where I'm at with that right now. Like, I have personal feelings that I have with the team page. And I just want to make sure you guys do have the systems and you guys are confident and comfortable with walking someone through the guides in whichever team page you choose. But it's there. You have access to it. It's on the table. And I feel like you guys can navigate Lionhearted very well, but there are just ideas that I get that I want to do in breaking chains. So if you see those changes, you'll see them. But it's just a second addition to what we have to offer. And the call that Jason had spoke on was doing launch elite elite launch calls and systems for your team? And does the team know what they need to be doing when they come in? Does new promoters know how to post, know what their VIPs are, know what they're running after? And okay, good. Thanks, Cassandra, for the feedback. They have to know like the simple things. And I think Em did a really good job with the story, the post, and the video for each day. And it simplifies it. They're quick to the point, and they can use those in their graphic. They can use those in their stories, and get familiar with the work with me Zooms. I think that's something that all new promoters should get used to. And then the 80/20 rule is another thing. I had Em audit my Instagram a couple days ago, and she was like, she she just says that she didn't say I was salesy, but she was like, I want to see more of you because I have a work from home opportunity graphic pinned to my Instagram. And it has worked. It has worked. I've been seeing a return on investment. So that's working for me right now. But Em said, that's not what works for my audience. If I put a work from home graphic up, I probably lose 10 followers, right? So we're all doing different things. We're all doing things that work different for our audience. Most of us are in recovery. Most of us have a very impactful and powerful story with where we've been, where we've come from. And your audience, may want to hear more of that, or they may want to hear more of how you navigate being a mom, or how why you do the things that you do, or what you believe in, and things like that. So you just have to play around with the content and get it out there and see if there's a return on investment. And I don't mean like money coming back. I just mean like people interacting, saying, wow, I really need to hear that. Or, wow, that helped me today. Or, man, I needed to hear that. And that's like little God winks and little like confirmations that that's the content you need to be putting out. So that's why you want to play around and see what happens. I had someone make a free account that I've been talking with for several months once I put that graphic up. And no one would have ever known my website if I hadn't put it up there, right? So you play around with different things, you guys. I'm trying to think of what else. Opportunity lives. I would like you guys to do those once a week for yourself. And just get back to the routine of talking about the things that are important to you, I guess, with the business. Because it was so funny. I did a live the other day, and it was like I was all over the place about the opportunity because it's been so long since I've done them. And when you feel like you've lost words or you don't know what to say, it's because you haven't done them in forever. And you want to kind of get back into that slowly but surely, and do mini opportunity stories in your story. If you want to do 15 seconds, it's like, hey guys, weekly pages hit and I'm so grateful, or, something to do with our auto bonus, even if you haven't earned it, right? That's something that you're working towards in the future and how that's going to help you. Let's see, the getaways, right? Convention that's coming up, different things that are happening, it kind of gives people something, I guess, substance and value, right? I don't know if that makes sense, you guys, but I could go on and on and on and on about Thrive. Since this big transition in the team, a lot of the promoters have reached out to me asking for help. And some of them are stuck and they're like, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. There's so many things. And I guess I'm just a extrovert and I can talk and I can get stuff out there, but I will give them examples like, convention that's coming up. You could talk about where that is and how it's our 10th convention. We've been around for 10 years. We're still a baby company with so much growth to do. Elite, our getaways, what DFT you're using and why you love it, like so many different things. I guess that's just me kind of like dissecting different things that I could share about. But you just find things to talk about. But guys, do your affirmations every day, and opportunity live once a week. And those are just 2 things I encourage you to do. And we do have our PPA challenge still going on. And I know we're not as active in the Telegram because we have other chats and we have lives going on off of our phones. So I totally understand. But I will still choose a winner, even if, we're not following the little requirements. But you guys are checking in, and that's all that matters. And it's just important that you believe in yourself and, unfollow those that don't make you happy, that make you question where you're at, that make you question who you are. Um, that's just something that I've had to do. And it's been hard with everything that's gone on. It's been hard to watch. And I think this makes room for the up and coming leaders, for people to own their place and own their leadership here and, set that tone and pulse in your team. And even if you don't have a team, your future team. And it's a silver lining in all the things that have happened. And, I did want to just come on here and talk to you guys about everything. And, we'll start these back up, but share what you have your hands on. And yes, share your products, do your IPAs, but share what you have your hands on too, the value behind it, right? Let me see. I think I got all my notes. Showcasing the impact of what Thrive is doing for you every day, even if it's the smallest thing, the smallest thing. People relate to small, people relate to the things that you're going through. They can't relate to fancy. They can't. So, that's who I want to help. I want to help the mom that's like me, that's like you, that's been in a struggling situation, that just wants to get out of it. Um, man, it's so important. But I love you guys, and this wasn't very long, but I hope that this made sense. And we'll be back on here next Thursday. I know Jess is going to step up. She's going to host her 4K journey, being here with Thrive, some things that she's overcome, and it's going to be good. So I hope to see you guys there next week. Bye, you guys. Have a good night.